Our last speaker for this group is Mark DeAngelo. Mark is an aerospace engineer for SAE International with over 10 years of experience. Today, some of his focus areas are the standardization of emerging technologies, electric aircraft, GA aircraft, and unmanned systems. As the staff lead of SAE International Electric Aircraft Steering Group, he's driving standards development for fully electric aircraft and more electric aircraft. Additional contributions include participation with numerous aerospace standards developing committees, the ANSI collaboratives, and the FAA rulemaking committees. Within the past 7 years, he's also earned a master's degree and PhD degree in aerospace engineering, while concurrently working at the Penn State Applied Research Lab as a researcher in Intelligent Systems Lab. His research topics include optimal search techniques and aircraft localization using learned object detectors, both of which utilize various unmanned aircraft platforms. He is interested in general aviation, holds a private pilot certificate, and aside from aviation, one of his favorite interests include photography. Please welcome Mark.
Thank you. It's a real honor to be here. So thank you. I want to thank the CAFE Foundation for this opportunity. I started following your organization back around 2010 when a group of fellow Penn Staters, both grad students and faculty, when I was in grad school at the time, we were working on the Green Flight Challenge. And so I thought that was really exciting, and it's a privilege to be up here speaking to all of you now with this great lineup of speakers and attendees. So again, thank you for this opportunity. So my presentation is on recent and future standards developments for electric aircraft. This is more from the SAE perspective, but I'm involved in some of the other activities that are going on at other standards developing organizations and also regulatory activities to some extent. So, I'll welcome your questions after this, and I look forward to meeting every one of you. So just to give you some background on SAE International, we expanded our charter to include aeronautics in 1916. And our first aerospace standard was written in 1917 for a global aeronautical spark plug during World War I. And so you can see we've grown since then. We have over 10 systems groups, and we also have over 180 technical committees, and we're around 7,600 standards that are active. We primarily publish 4 document types in the aerospace sector. So those are aerospace standards, those are AS, AMS, aerospace material specifications, ARPs, aerospace recommended practices, and AIRs, aerospace information reports. We have over 8,300 unique participants on our standards developing committees with a total participation of over 17,000. So there's a public-private partnership that goes on with SAE, and because industry standards span, different levels of regulatory documents, including advisory circulars, certification specifications, policies, acceptable means of compliance, technical standards orders. A lot of those documents reference industry standards such as SAE, ASs, and ARPs. So there are over 400 SAE standards referenced in FAA material. We have over 20 tasking requests, and we also have supporting offices such as those in DC. So this is a big picture. This is our chart of aerospace standards technical committees. And because you can't read it from this distance, I'll expand some technical committees, and I'll walk you through some of the ones that are focusing on electric aircraft. within their scope. So the Electric Aircraft Steering Group. AE7, Aerospace Electrical Power. E40, Electrified Propulsion. AE8, these are the electrical distribution and connectors. AE9, Electrical Materials. AH3, the ground support. E36, Electronic Engine Controls. E32, Propulsion Systems Health Monitoring. Integrated Health Management. We also have lightning and electrical materials. Environmental effects, electromagnetic environmental effects, flight control and actuation. S18's aircraft systems development and safety assessment. Aircraft icing technology. Position navigation and timing. RFID applications. So you can see this gets populated to several committees. So now we have like cyber physical and AI committees and so forth. So I did a little exercise and I looked at the EASA special condition for small category VTOL aircraft. It started with the proposed special condition and now the actual one that's been released. And it's been consistent. So the standards that I've looked at that I thought could apply to certain sections still apply. And this is just a little exercise, a little set of examples of where you can potentially apply some of the SAE standards to the various VTOL sections. So about the Electric Aircraft Steering Group, this group strategically landscapes and coordinates various standardization activities to support full electric and more electric aircraft applications at the top level, subsystem, and component levels. They will be meeting in October in Cleveland at the Energy Tech Conference, and following the EASG meeting, which is on a Tuesday and Wednesday, there will be a high voltage workshop on Thursday and autonomy workshop on Friday. So we'll invite everybody to attend that workshop if you're interested in learning more about high voltage and some of the issues associated, and also autonomy as well. Some of the EASG activities include looking at the standards landscape, researching those standards, and deciding whether or not they apply to electric aircraft, and also looking at where the gaps exist for standardization for electric aircraft. So the EASG then looks at those, collects that data, records it, and then also reaches out to technical standards committees, provides recommendations and requests to them to develop standards where there is a need. And then they also are in the process of developing a report for standardization needs for electric and more electric aircraft. And that report will be then become publicly available once it's completed. So here's the question. Which standards can we use for electric aircraft? Well, there are many, and the answer is it depends too. So rather than list all these possible, maybe hundreds or potentially thousands of standards, depending on your configuration, your type of aircraft, I pointed out some committees that develop standards that can apply to electric aircraft. So as you see here, I have listed the committee name and hyperlinked it, so it could take you to the committee page where you can see those standards. And I also included some pictures as visual aids to help illustrate some of the topics that they cover. AE7, I feel, is an important committee developing standards for the electric aircraft. We have a really exciting new document that was just put into the system called Aircraft High Voltage DC Power Quality Standard. That's AS 7499. And there, below that, there's a list of other standards as well. So if you have access to this presentation, or you can even come see me and we can discuss some of these standards in more detail. This is shown in a bulleted list, and I wanted to show them in a bit of a hierarchical manner. So on the next slide, I show a systems level chart and a subsystem level chart to see where all these different standards relate to one another. Tomorrow, the E7D Committee will be meeting at the museum. So they'll be meeting in the leadership classwork at the EAA Museum. And one of their primary areas of focus is aircraft charging, a charging standard, and also energy storage. The E40 Electrified Propulsion Committee, this is also a new committee as well that is addressing considerations for performance, airworthiness, safety, aircraft integration, and components between and within the propulsion systems and other aircraft equipment. They have also have 3 documents in progress, a nomenclature and definitions document, safety considerations for electrified propulsion, and they're also providing architectural examples for electrified propulsion. This is their current state, and they will be launching some new documents in addition to these as well. AE9 Electrical Materials. This is a committee that's developing a standard that's looking at the degradation of electrical materials, particularly in the area of permanent and soft magnetic materials. And of course, we have the Safety Assessment Committee. They are working on their documents that they're revising their famous ARP 4754 document and their ARP 4761 document. And they're also looking at autonomy from the safety assessment point of view, and also unmanned systems. So we have a working group established and a working relationship between SAT and, say, the AS4 Unmanned Committee. They'll be meeting next week. Actually, I think that's this week. So in Portland from the 22nd until the 26th. And then also the AS4 Committee will be meeting in October, on October 22nd to the 24th. So we also have the privilege of synergies between the automotive community and the aerospace community. The automotive community, as you know, has been developing hybrid electric vehicles, passenger vehicles, trucks, buses. They've developed some charging standards that some of you have actually touched, and if you have an electric vehicle, maybe you plugged in your vehicle with them. And we also have a big battery community there as well. So we can leverage a lot of expertise, and that's what the workshops also enable too. So we have like an autonomy workshop, so we'll also include the automotive industry so we can share lessons learned and ideas so we can benefit both communities and then tailor our standards to the needs of those communities. Just to give you a little bit more information, we have 3 new committees that have to do with digital and data. G31, electronic transactions for aerospace. You can kind of think of that as blockchain. G32, cyber physical systems. That's what we can call our cybersecurity committee. And then G34, AI for safety critical systems. This committee is growing really rapidly. There's a lot of interest in AI in particular, and there'll be several different applications that this committee can look at, and we're really for this committee as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is listed there. And I figured it would be appropriate to show a picture of myself in an electric aircraft so for this event. So thank you for your attention. And again, thanks for allowing me to come speak to you today. It's wonderful. Thank you.